what's up? It's the Astrodyne Designer here. This is the first video on my channel, and I just like to talk about how to set up your website going from something like a shared hosting service, such as what I used to use, HostGator, over into something like Google Cloud. So, I had my website set up with HostGator, and I thought that it was a little too limiting. There weren't a lot of things that I could change, and I didn't like being on a shared server with other people who, are also using the same resources. And with a cloud hosting service, you can also dynamically allocate your resources and know and choose what type of server that you want and how much space and how much processing power you need. So I took the plunge. I did Google Cloud. And the neat thing about Google Cloud is that they do give you free credits right when you join. So I did the whole migration process, and I came across a couple of unique things that I didn't see covered a lot when I was doing this whole process. So I'd like to take the time today to walk you all through it. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do once you've created once you're on the Google Cloud platform, is that you're going to want to create a new project where you can host your website. So you can go up here to your projects tab and select new project. And once that happens, you can name it whatever you want, website, for instance, would be fine. You don't need to put it inside an organization. And then you create your project. And you can see it's creating here. Just need to give it a minute. And now once we have our website, we can go to it. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to create a cloud, or you want to create a compute engine. This will create the cloud server where you can run your website off of. So you can enable all your server resources and all the things that you're going to need here. So enable it. Okay. So once you have the VM instances enabled, you can go ahead and create one to run your website. You can name it something like WordPress. Choose a region that you think is going to be close to where a lot of people are going to be accessing your website, because that way it's lower latency. And you're going to want to choose one of the servers, or one of the CPU configurations, excuse me. And there's a couple for you to choose from. You probably will not be needing a lot of resources for your website if it's like a personal blog or something like that. You can probably go with this N1 and change it here to a shared core F1 micro. That should make it dirt cheap. Should be less than $5 a month. Or yes. And then once you have that all set up, you want to allow HTTPS traffic. And from there you can create, and then it'll create an instance for you. And then it's going to be something that's going to take a second. Okay. After all that, you should have a VM instance. So next you're going to want to go to the marketplace. And what you're going to want to look for is Bitnami. And what I used is the Nginx source. Let me see if it's just this one. This one, yes. The WordPress with Nginx and SSL certified by Bitnami and Automatic. You can choose this deployment. Click get started. and make sure you read this and agree to it. And after that, you can go to deploy. Check that. This should be fine. You're gonna want to click enable. You might need to change a little bit of configurations here. I personally am not going to be in Europe. I'm going to change mine to North America, US probably. US Central. Going to do the Intel. Go with the E2. I think we'll have E2 micro better. I think the N1 F1 micro will get you your cheapest deployment. This should be all you need. Make sure to allow both of these. And you're creating your deployment now. Okay, so now you have your Bitnami instance. All this should set up WordPress automatically for you. That's the benefit of having this solution that's already been created for you. And from there, you have it's WordPress set up on your compute engine. So you can go to this admin URL, and you can see it gives you a temporary a username and password. So for instance, I can go here and I can go to the new admin page that we just created. And you're going to want to, as soon as you get in here, you want to go to plugins, add new. And then you're going to want to go look up WordPress migration. And then you want this plugin right here, all-in-one WordPress migration. This is if you have an existing site that you'd want to transfer over. So if you want to figure that out, you need this migration tool right here. And essentially, what you're going to want to do is you have your old WordPress instantiation. For me, that is, if I go to my regular site, I go to WordPress admin, and I log into this, then if I go here on this one, I can go, well, I need to get the plugin here, but if I want to get the all in the WordPress migration, assuming that this is my HostGator one, I can get the plugin, activate that, and then from your current website, you're gonna want to export. This is the outside. You're gonna want to export a copy of your website, and I'm gonna export it to a file, and that's gonna take a little while, especially for, you know, the bigger the website, the longer it'll take. Once that's all done, you should see this big flashing button here that says download your website, and you can see that mine is 473 megabytes. This will have everything, your databases, um, your plugins, your content, all of that. So you're gonna want to get that. It'll download. And then once that's downloaded, you're gonna want to go to your old website and you want to go to import for this one. And then you're gonna see this and you're gonna be like, oh no, my website is over 80 megabytes. What am I supposed to do? Well, I've seen a lot of people do this, get unlimited. They also have this handy little guide right here. It'll tell you about how to increase the maximum upload size. They say it's hard, but this is the one you want to do because it's also free and it's really not that hard if you follow these steps. So first of all, you're going to need to SSH into your website, and there's multiple ways for you to do that. The Google Cloud instance has a built-in SSH terminal, but you can also use another SSH client. What that will entail, if you want to do it on your local machine, is you're gonna want to create a key pair, right? An SSH key pair. You're gonna have a public and a private one. There's a Windows command for that. If you pull it up there's a console command for that, and it'll create a key value pair, and you put the public one inside the WordPress instance into the admin panel here, or sorry, not the admin panel. That's WordPress. You're gonna want to put it in. If you go to the instance, give it time to load. You're gonna want to edit then down here says SSH. You're gonna want to enter a public key, and if you have your private key, basically you can enter a command, make sure to reference the file, but there's a lot of tutorials online for that if you feel the need to SSH from there, but I am going to, for simplicity's sake, do it from here. Again, things may take a while. Everything's getting worked out here. Okay, so once you're in the console, you're going to be looking for a file called php-ini. So I'm going to make sure I get out of my specific SSH profile here into the main directory. So you're going to have to cd back a couple times. And then if I look here, you can see the second one to the left, I have the Bitnami directory. Or actually, no. First, you go to OPT. So you want to cd. This is where this file should be located. It should be cd opt bitnami. And then you're going to go in under PHP. And then you're going to want to go under etc. And then you have your php-ini file here. So you're going to want to open your favorite text editor. Make sure to do sudo commands here. You need the admin privileges. You want to, use your text editor of choice. That could be Vim, or I'm going to do it here in Nano. php-ini. And I was editing this before. You could just say open anyway. If you shouldn't encounter that problem though. And from here you can go in and you're going to want to scroll down a little bit, but down at the bottom, way down, you should encounter a section about, if I can find it, data handling. So you have this post max size. Let's set that to 512. You know, this isn't the one that does your website, but it might be good to set. I think you should set both of them. But the one you really care about is down here, because you're doing an upload. It is maximum upload file size. For me, based on the size of my website, I'm going to set it at 512, but, you know, adjust accordingly. I think it works up to at least 512. I don't know if it's going to make you do the plugin get the plugin like pro version for over 512, but you can definitely go more than 80 if you're getting the 80 issue. So change that to whatever you need, and then you're going to want to exit, and you're going to want to save it, and save it to the same file name. And from there, you can close the SSH, or wait, sorry. First, you're going to want to make sure you restart the service. Sudo systemctl restart Vietnamese. And yes, if you forget commands or anything like that, you know, Google, of course, ChatGPT is a good source. This isn't my area of expertise exactly, so ChatGPT did help me out a lot with this one. It was a fun project to learn all this stuff for sure. But your system should take a little while to restart. And then from there, you can just exit that. Your service should restart. And if I go back to the blog here, refresh the page, maybe I have to clear cookies too, we'll see. You can see 512. Boom. We just changed this number. So no unlimited involved. So I can import from file, go to downloads, you know, the one website that I had before, put that in. Give that its time to shine. Then any minute now. Okay guys, so for that last one, I tried to upload a website that was over 364 gigabytes, when at the time when I first did this whole thing, I was trying to get a website that was over or under 364. So if you are going for a larger website, it seems like there might be some other issues that could crop up. I think, at least I heard, that if you go into the file editor for the plugins, you may be able to change more settings there. Must be some additional block besides just the plugin or just the upload settings in the website the website config for larger websites. So this is just one thing you can try for a website that's a little bit smaller, and if you need something bigger, you might have to go for another option. This web design isn't my whole expertise or my area of expertise. It's just something that I wanted to share because I had to work on it and I had to discover things along that line. So that's just what I found. That's the process that I followed for configuring my website. But setting up a website on the cloud, I think so far it's been a good investment for me. I've been able to control better, what I want and how I want to run things. So overall, it's a process I recommend. And if you want to transfer your website from a traditional shared hosting site like HostGator or GoDaddy, something like that, hopefully this is something that can help, at least get you off the ground, even if, it may not work for the bigger sites, like the issue I had. I may release a part 2 if I discover more information about this, but since I study aerospace engineering, this is kind of as deep as I want to get into it right now and as deep as I want to share. So, thanks for listening.